next
on Your Pittsburgh.
Hi, this is Billy Gardell.
What happens when you take Billy Gardell from the TV show Mike and Molly into the crowd at PNC Park?
Thanks, guys. You got it. Absolutely. It's the best being home.
We'll show you, and he'll tell us why he's so devoted to the Burgh.
We can rebuild him.
Find out why one local Marine is being compared to the $6 million man, thanks to an amazing medical advancement happening right here.
You never really think how much you take walking for granted.
If you're not reading them, you're missing out on great tips and even some ways to save money. I'm Sarah Arbogast. I'll show you some of the best blogs in the Burgh.
We're checking out one of Pittsburgh Pirate Andrew McCutchen's favorite restaurants, and it's a bit of a local celebrity hotspot.
I actually giggled because my parents have a Pittsburgh Potty.
It might make us giggle, but you wanted to know, so we're answering your question. What's the story behind the Pittsburgh Potty?
From KDKA TV, this is Your Pittsburgh with Kimberly Gill and David Highfield.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Your Pittsburgh.
There are so many new and interesting things going on in our city and our region, and this is really a show to celebrate all of that.
We're going to start with a big-time TV star. If you've ever seen the CBS show Mike and Molly, you probably already know Billy Gardell.
But did you know he grew up in Swissvale? I met up with him at one of his favorite places, a Pirates game at PNC Park. Wait until you see how the crowd reacted to him and why he says Pittsburgh will always be home.
Here we go, Max!
Walk through PNC Park with Billy Gardell.
It's my people, my tribe. So there it is. They're throwing up.
And he's instantly surrounded by fans.
Oh my gosh! I love you guys!
Thanks for watching. Hi, guys.
So is this true everywhere you go, or is this a Pittsburgh?
You know what? I get recognized almost everywhere I go now, but there's no love like home.
Molly.
Mike.
Starring on the CBS sitcom Mike and Molly, he lives in California now, but says Pittsburgh will always be home.
I like to come home at least twice a year. That way I get here in the summertime and hit the Pirates and Kennywood with my kid.
His Comedy Central special, Halftime, featured Pittsburgh. It was even taped here.
Just give me 45 seconds here. I got to say hi to my hometown real quick. And I'm glad you could come downtown tonight for about an hour.
This is where I come from. This is who I reflect, and I try not to embarrass them. So there's always got to be a little moment for them when I do this, because they knew before anybody else. They've been behind me for a long time.
The background you see is the duplex where he grew up and the street sign out front. Harrison and Oak Grove. This is where Billy spent his childhood. And a few years ago, before Mike and Molly debuted, he showed us around.
As you can see those steel lights, we would just mess with each other and dare each other to climb up the pole. That was entertainment for us.
His favorite hometown pizza shop remains Veltry's.
He's a great guy. He is you would never know that he's any kind of celebrity. You know, he's just a Swissvale boy.
And growing up here, did he ever imagine being a successful comedian?
No, I didn't start being interested in stand-up comedy till I was about 10 years old. It was right when my parents split up. They got divorced. And I just kind of find laughter as an easy way out of things.
In addition to doing stand-up, he's been in some movies.
Any last words?
Try the clams.
Was on the FX series Lucky, but now he's known to millions as Officer Mike Biggs.
I'd love to have a police officer come and speak to my class.
Are you looking for like general information or scared straight?
They're 9 years old, so scare the hell out of them.
On Mike and Molly, he meets his wife at an Overeaters Anonymous meeting. She's played by Melissa McCarthy, who also starred in the movie Bridesmaids.
No. Fight club.
Go to a fight club?
No, we're not going to go to a fight club.
Okay.
We're going to be the fight club.
She is just as graceful as the day I met her. She's kind, she's giving. It's an honor to work with her, seriously.
Another cast member revealed something about Billy.
I get emotional before every taping. Billy does this little prayer. We all stand in a circle, and whether you're religious or not, it's about being grateful.
I'm very grateful success came at this age, because if they'd have gave this to me at 23, it'd be over by now.
Meeting Billy at PNC Park was perfect. since he's a true Buccos fan. He threw out the first pitch at a game last year.
This is pure joy for me.
Also at the ballpark, his friends from WDVE Radio, Randy Bauman and Bill Crawford.
He's about to approach anything that sounds like, not arrogance, but just if he sounds like he's getting high and mighty.
If I'm feeling good about myself, that's when I call back in. Straightens me right out.
But seriously, they say he remains grounded. A great guy who makes us laugh and loves where he's from.
It's funny because the rest of the cast will come back and go, yeah, I did a movie and I went to Hawaii, and I'll be like, I was in Pittsburgh.
You can really tell he loves Pittsburgh.
He does love Pittsburgh, and I hope you can tell from that story what a genuine nice guy he is. And I always think it's cool when nice people find success, and he's definitely one of them. Also, obviously very funny. Mike and Molly airs Monday nights right here on KDKA TV.
Okay, well, it's never good to think you're missing out on something, but if you're not reading online blogs of some Pittsburgh writers, you might not know about money-saving tips, cool weekend events, and a whole lot more.
Sarah Arbogast has rounded up some of the very best blogs in the Burgh, and she joins us now with what she's found, and this had to be difficult.
It was difficult. There are so many blogs out there. It's tough to sort through and find everything that you're looking for, the most entertaining, the most helpful, but we did a search and found 4 Pittsburgh blogs that are packed with information. Nowadays, we're all looking for ways to save. The blog Simply Frugal Living can help.
I'm all about trying to keep it simple and save people both time and money.
Blogger Andrea Alexander knows how to score a bargain. She posts everything from grocery store coupons and Redbox discount codes to the best weekly diaper deals. Plus, you can find shopping tutorials and ways to plan a fairy tale wedding for half the price. Moms and dads, you'll appreciate Burgh Baby. The blogger just goes by Michelle. She started it nearly 7 years ago, right before her daughter was born, as a way to keep her family updated. But now the blog has grown. She offers tips, even weekly recipes for every busy parent.
I am crazy, insanely busy like everybody else, so everything's always simple and achievable.
If you like to let loose on the weekends, this is the blog for you. It's called After Dark, and the blogger is Sean Collier, the PM nightlife editor for Pittsburgh Magazine. He writes about activities and events from comedy shows, movies, and bar hopping to the newest exhibit at the Andy Warhol Museum. From fun to food, this blog, PittsburghHotPlate.com, has it all for all you foodies. Chef Chuck Kerber started it 2 years ago. It's grown from about 30 readers a day to 10,000 a month.
We like to go around to different restaurants and try the food and take photographs and really let Pittsburghers know what's going on.
You can find recipes and cooking tips like how to saute. We also want to mention Virginia Montanez, who writes both That's Church and Pit Girl, both very popular blogs.
Yeah, she's cool and always has an opinion.
Absolutely.
And these are just a few of the blogs.
There are so many blogs out there, and a lot of them really just specific to Pittsburghers, and we want to highlight a few more of them coming up in our future shows.
Well, this was good stuff. Thanks a lot, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Still to come.
You know, we're not actually trying to get someone to run 60 miles an hour.
But what they are trying to do is just as amazing. What sounds like science fiction is becoming science reality right here in Pittsburgh.
Where does a hungry Pittsburgh Pirate go for a great meal?
Ooh, it looks great.
We'll check out one of Andrew McCutchen's favorite restaurants and reveal his favorite dish.
Speaking of restaurants, everyone around here knows about Eaton Park, but wait until you see what the folks who brought us smiley face cookies are cooking up now.
Plus the local invention that could dramatically change what it's like to drive in the rain.
And what's the deal with the Pittsburgh Potty? Do you have any idea why they exist?
I have no idea.
We'll get to the bottom of it coming up.
Your Pittsburgh is brought to you in part by UPMC and Costa Home Builders.
It's time to answer your questions. We call this segment You Wanted to Know. Ray Sager wrote to us and asked, I'd like to know the history of the Pittsburgh toilet and how it came about.
Well, we wanted to know about this too, because plenty of homes in our area have a Pittsburgh Potty. Maybe you didn't know it has a name. Well, it does, and it also has a pretty interesting story. be different sizes or colors, but if it's a toilet in the basement with no walls around it, it's a Pittsburgh Potty.
Oh, my grandmother's house had one. Just a toilet in the middle of the floor.
When it's time to go, you gotta go. So
can't really argue with that. Gretchen Lachlan from Sheridan was brave enough to take us into her basement. She says she giggled when she first saw it, just sitting there out in the open.
And I'm like, look, honey, now you can go to the bathroom whenever I'm in the bathroom taking an hour and a half.
And here it is, a surprise under the steps.
Michelle Shocker has seen plenty of Pittsburgh potties. She's an agent with Prudential Preferred Realty.
This is just the basic Pittsburgh potty that you're going to find in probably about 75% of the houses in the South Hills.
She took me on a tour of basements in Mount Lebanon to show me how some homeowners gussy them up.
This is an upgrade. This Pittsburgh potty is a stall.
Another one now has fabric overhead. The homeowner in this case,
she was from out of state and she died laughing when they came in, and she was like, what am I supposed to do with that?
There's even a Pittsburgh toilet listing on Wikipedia, which explains that its origin has to do with our proud steel-making roots.
It was designed mainly during the mill days.
Guys came in, they got cleaned up.
There was even a Pittsburgh shower.
Sometimes a shower, just in an open basement.
They went upstairs to their family, all nice and clean and non-smelly.
We've heard of at least one real estate listing that actually mentioned a Pittsburgh commode, but Shocker says it could be described another way.
We have a partial bath.
As for whether it adds value to a home nowadays,
it might enhance it, actually.
But I did speak to an appraiser who said he doesn't actually put a value on a Pittsburgh potty, but on the day you need it, it's worth $1,000.
Well, you know, I have to tell you, since I moved here to the Pittsburgh area, I've been looking for a house here, and the first time I saw a Pittsburgh potty in the basement of a home, I was absolutely terrified. I didn't know what it was. The one that I saw had a pull cord, but now that I know the history of how it came about, I kind of think it's chic.
I don't know about chic, but we didn't grow up with a Pittsburgh potty, but I remember my aunt had a Pittsburgh shower, and she had a hula hoop up around it with a shower curtain. So, you know, whatever works.
Only in the Burgh, only in the Burgh. Well, if you have something you want to know about our area, you can reach us on our website, kdka.com/yourpittsburgh. Still to come.
Spun me around, knocked me to the ground.
A local Marine wounded, but something developed right here in Pittsburgh is helping him walk again.
Plus, the local community that might be the perfect place for grocery shoppers in search of a deal.
And a stamp of approval from Andrew McCutchen.
It's definitely pretty good.
We'll take you to one of his favorite Pittsburgh restaurants and taste his favorite dish.
You're watching Your Pittsburgh on KDKA TV with Kimberly Gill and David Highfield.
We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man.
The $6 Million Man. Maybe you remember the TV show from the 70s. Of course, it was fantasy.
But it turns out, decades later, doctors right here in Pittsburgh are doing some incredible work that makes that fantasy seem much more realistic.
You're about to get a look inside a laboratory you probably never knew existed. And what they're working on is making a big difference in people's lives. Kim Gable has our story.
David and Kimberly, I'm along 2nd Avenue next to the Mon River, and for decades this was a site for the booming steel industry, but now it's home to high-tech research, and some of what's being developed here is truly amazing.
28-year-old Ron Strang was serving in Afghanistan on Easter Sunday 2010. He got an eerie feeling walking down a road and turned to tell a fellow Marine to be careful. That's when it happened.
The ID went off on my right side, spun me around, knocked me to the ground, and then when I sat up and looked down, I could see my leg was split open.
He was rushed to doctors, but the blast left him with a large section of muscle missing in his leg. When he returned home to Jefferson Hills, he had a tough time walking and would sometimes fall.
My knee would pop stairs. I'd have to go one at a time. And I couldn't run at all.
He figured his dream of becoming a police officer was over.
I wasn't sure there was even anything anybody could do.
But then he learned about an experimental surgery based on research done inside this building. From the outside, you'd never guess the miraculous things going on inside Pitt's McGowan Institute for Regenerative Medicine.
10 years ago even, not only was this not thought possible, you would have been thought crazy to even think about something like this.
Dr. Stephen Badylak showed us
These are pig parts.
what's called extracellular matrix, made from pig bladders.
It turns out that that matrix is loaded with information.
Badylak says when implanted in humans, it tells the body to regrow tissue, actually recruiting cells. Dr. Peter Rubin put the matrix in Strang's leg. But would it work to regrow his muscle?
The whole muscle from here is gone in the middle. The ECM was a strip that they put in right here to connect it.
He very quickly noticed a major difference. He was able to hike again and eventually to run for minutes at a time.
To feel that wind in your hair, to be able to get speed and walk and run on your own, it's phenomenal.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
People have compared him to the 70s TV show, The $6 Million Man. The main character was injured, but rebuilt with bionic implants.
Yes. I get a lot of people that say that when I try to describe what they were doing.
The director at McGowan understands the comparison.
In Steve Austin's case, of course, he can run 60 miles an hour. We're not there, we're not actually trying to get someone to run 60 miles an hour.
But they are trying to improve people's lives in a variety of amazing ways.
We're problem solvers.
They're developing a tiny blood pump for newborn babies with heart failure, as well as something called a skin gun that can spray skin cells onto burn victims. They're looking at whether organs like this heart can be reduced to a matrix and implanted in people. And although it didn't happen in Pittsburgh, a powdered form of the matrix, first developed here, helped this man grow back his fingertip. Sounds like science fiction, but Badylak is ready to try even more.
You have a stroke. I mean, nobody thinks you can regrow new brain tissue. I'm not so sure. Maybe you can.
As for Ron Strang, he's incredibly grateful. He now sees a future he didn't think possible.
If I have kids or a family, I could be able to go out and play with my kids and run around and do the things that normal people would do. You never really think how much you take walking for granted.
Now, other people have had the same surgery as Strang, but his results are particularly promising. In South Oakland, I'm Kim Gable for Your Pittsburgh.
Wow, that's incredible. Thanks a lot, Kim. Just so amazing that that's happening right here in Pittsburgh.
It really is. And they're actually looking for people to participate in that muscle regrowth study. We have a link for you at kdka.com/yourpittsburgh so you can get more information. Okay, a local community is becoming a battleground for discount grocery stores.
And could Eden Park's newest type of restaurant be headed to your neighborhood? That's just some of what's happening as we check out what's new in the Burgh. Hello Bistro is all about made-to-order burgers and salads. They also serve beer and wine. It's in Oakland, but a second location is planned for the South Side, and more could follow. Eden Park is also the parent company of Six Pen Kitchen downtown and The Porch at Shinley.
A popular restaurant in Mount Lebanon is about to open a second location in the renovated Market Square. Il Pizzaiolo is known for pizzas baked in a wood-fired oven, as well as pasta and wine. The Market Square location will be open in time for the holidays.
Cheers to Click Vodka. The Pittsburgh-based company is expanding. The vodka, which is distilled in Latvia, will be sold in 13 states by the end of the year, as well as Japan and India.
More new homes are coming to the city's Manchester neighborhood. Phase 2 of Columbus Square is underway. Eventually, 31 homes are planned on what was once a brownfield.
Take a look at the new apartments being built in the Strip District. Lot 24 is right next door to the cork factory and is being done by the same developer. There will be 96 units and it's expected to open in November.
Ross Township is shaping up as a battleground for discount grocery stores. Aldi has been there for years, but a Bottom Dollar just opened to big crowds. And right next door, Giant Eagle's discount grocery store, Value King, will open this fall.
Finally, a headlight that helps you see better in rain. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University's Robotics Institute have come up with a system that figures out where the raindrops are and directs light away from them. This demonstration shows what a regular headlight does, and then you can see how the rain practically disappears with their system. Okay, we should point out smart headlights aren't ready for cars just yet. They're still trying to work out some of the kinks.
Yeah, for instance, right now the system works really well at slower speeds, not so well at faster ones, but they're confident they can change that.
Well, still to come, it's time to eat.
Yeah, we're headed to one of Pittsburgh Pirate Andrew McCutchen's favorite local restaurants, and we'll reveal the dish he considers to be a home run.
We have so many exciting places to eat in our area, and we want to feature some of those restaurants.
So I asked Pittsburgh Pirate Andrew McCutchen one of his favorite places to eat, and listen to what he told us.
Oh, I always go to Nakama on Carson Street in Southside. It's a Japanese hibachi grill.
And what's your favorite thing there?
I just go with the three. I go with the combination. I go with the steak, chicken, and shrimp. You can't go wrong with either of those.
You heard it. He says you can't go wrong. He also says the chef puts on a pretty good show.
It sounded great to us, so we sat down for a meal at Nakama.
Woo!
This place calls itself the hottest Japanese steakhouse and sushi bar around. In addition to dinner and a show, it's a great place to celebrity watch. Professional athletes have been seen here, so much so it's not uncommon for fans to call to see who's coming.
And ask like if we know who is going to be there tonight, because they're making plans to come in and they want to know who they'll see.
The tables seat 8 to 10, so you might make friends while you're there. David and I started the night with a sushi roll dubbed the Pittsburgh Pirate Roll. It has blue crab, tuna, jalapeno, and avocado.
You like it because it's fried.
I do. It's delicious.
Our cook had excellent cutting skills. For the main course, we ordered Andrew McCutchen's favorite, the triple combination. It's hibachi steak, chicken, and shrimp all seasoned and seared, plus rice and vegetables. It's truly an exceptional experience. And for most folks, it's more than enough food.
And yes, I'm eating off David's plate, as you can see. I finished all mine.
That's okay.
I'm a woman who can eat.
You can eat. I can eat. I could have eaten that whole Pittsburgh Pirate roll myself.
It was very good, very good. An interesting tidbit to pass along to you, though. Most people pronounce the restaurant name Nakama. It's actually in Japanese, the pronunciation correctly is Nakama, and it stands for Circle of Friends. I just thought that was interesting.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, very nice. Let us know your favorite place. Go to kdka.com/yourpittsburgh. We also want your story ideas and suggestions, and you can also contact us on Facebook and Twitter.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this edition of Your Pittsburgh. From all of us here, thanks for watching.
And we'll see you next time.
Your Pittsburgh has been brought to you in part by UPMC and Costa Home Builders.